If you enjoyed this show, then make sure you check out the other great shows on the Legion Podcast Network, like Cinema Psyops, Cinema Beef, Devour the Podcast, Duncan and Bo Come Correct, Exploding Heads Horror Movie Podcast, Friday the 13th, Get Slayed, The Helming Power Hour, Hello, This is the Doom Show, Hero Hero Ghost Show, Kill the Cast, Underwater Kaiju from Outer Space, Jerry Hates Action, Legion After Dark, Mental Health, Obsessive Cinema, Discourse, Pick Six Movies, the podcast by The Cemetery, the podcast on Haunted Hill, the Psychosemantic Podcast, Rick Radio, House of Wax, Dude Looks Like the 80s, Rabbit and Red Radio, the Shadecast, Short Bus Cinema, Two Drink Minimum Commentaries, the VD Clinic, Who Will Survive Horror Podcast, and Witch vs. the Doomsday Clock. With such a wide spread of shows, there is guaranteed to be a niche for you to fall in love with. Horror, politics, movies, books, sex, music, commentaries, health, video games, kaiju, action, news, comedy, and opinions that would most likely get you killed in some parts of the world. We are proud to bring you some of the best podcasting in the world. Check us out at www.legionpodcast.com, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and any other dark corner of the internet where podcasts can be found.
Time to be podcasting, I guess. I was just exhausted. I really couldn't do anything. I lost everything as far as bodybuilding goes. That all just withered away. I haven't worked out in, I think it's now 9 weeks.
What?
Oh yeah.
Wait, but you have a gym in your residence, right? Or do you go somewhere?
We have a gym. We built one at work.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's basically where you work out.
Yeah. Yep, like we finish, I work out right before we start working, so I show up to work about 45 minutes early, and then we work out for another 45 minutes at the end of the day. So I'll like dedicate all to one body part, and then the next half of the day is the other one. You know, people do like bis and tris.
Oh.
So I'll just do bis in the morning, and then I'll do tris in the afternoon.
That is dedication. I could not see myself mainly because I'm weak and I don't have the strength to do that, I don't think, but
that's why you have to.
Well, yeah, that builds you up. I mean, I guess that's what I guess I have to do at this point. I really should work on building myself up because I feel like right now I'm just like a blob of jelly.
Atrophy.
Yes, I have atrophied. I mean, if you look at my legs, they are probably like even more useless than they ever have been before. I have not left my house aside from going out to the mailbox or going out to take the trash out or move the trash cans to and from the curb since February.
So you don't have mind-blowing quads anymore?
No, they have deteriorated to shit at this point.
And you don't have calves that look like two cantaloupes that were stuffed down your legs?
No, my calves like to swell now, probably because I sit so fucking much.
Oh, well, there you go. Just let them swell up. You don't have to work out.
Then I'll just die because the blood flow will just like stop.
Oh, it just pools up in there?
I mean, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, I've started drinking more water because I think that like there was like a time there for maybe like a month or two where I just didn't drink any water, and I would just, well, no, I can't say that. I would drink like two 16-ounce coffees and maybe one 16-ounce bottle of water, and that's all I would drink all day long. Like 2 months straight.
My mom has not drank water in like 30 years, I think.
Really? Well, what does she drink instead of water? Does she drink anything?
Coffee and soda.
Now regular soda or like Coke Zero soda?
No, regular sugar soda.
Oh my God, that poor woman. That poor woman.
Yeah, she's still kicking at 65, man.
Well.
And she's been smoking for 40 years.
And she's still smoking to this day, I take it. Wow. Yeah. That is amazing. So do you see her often or do you not see her that often?
No. I have a very flawed family relationship thing going on.
Do you speak to her still on occasion?
Yeah, well, she was over the house like a week and a day ago.
Oh. And do you allow her to smoke in the house, or do you say you have to go outside, you cannot smoke in here?
Oh, no, she just knows to go outside. Actually, it was a horrible event took place. They got a brand new dog. It's 4 months old. It's a I don't think you call it miniature Dachshund or Dash Hound or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, yes, because we have.
You have a hot dog. Okay,
yes.
Yeah. So it's 4 months old, and they decide to let it run around the backyard while we're playing Frisbee.
Oh, no.
So it was nighttime, too, and the yard lights up pretty nice, but not enough to spot a dog in the grass. But I think even if you could, I don't think it would have mattered because we weren't looking for it.
You stepped on the fucker, didn't you?
Well, I threw the Frisbee.
Oh, okay.
And it was supposed to go hit a guy on an upper deck. I have a deck that's high.
Right.
On the second floor. So I threw it to him, but it didn't make it, so it made its way back down. So I yelled at my sister to get it, all in good fun. And then you hear, and then...
You killed the dog!
Well, after she got done squashing it by stepping on it, she lifted her leg real quick and then fell on it.
Oh, shit. So what bones did it break? Because it obviously had to. Holy shit.
Believe it or not, at this point... These dogs, they're like babies, like human babies, like their bones are like rubber still. So it didn't break anything. But the weirdest thing is the dog had to immediately take a shit.
Yeah. You just like, you stimulated the shit right out of it.
It's like if you walk up, like if somebody has to sort of go and you walk up behind them and do like a back bear hug and you squeeze that bottom on like by their belly button and then all of a sudden they have to go shit. I think that's what happened.
So was it like a nice long shit that like was like a snake in your yard?
I don't know. It was, like I said, too dark, and my dad had to pick it up with a napkin.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's all. I mean, really. Well, I mean, it's good that you didn't kill the dog, but see, I want to talk more about now you have this second floor balcony. Now,
yeah.
What I would like to do is I would like to come to your residence. I know it's far from me, but I would like to come there.
All right.
And we need to, I will bring a trench coat, and we will reenact the ending of Halloween. Now, do you think that your wife could be Laurie Strode, I will be Loomis, and you will be Myers? Because what will happen is I will get a cap gun, and we will shoot this reenactment and post it on YouTube or something. We should. And I will fire 6 bullets into you. You will fall off of your balcony.
Right.
We'll have like what are those things? Like
a mattress down there?
Yeah, something that'll catch you. Now is it really high up? So like
yeah, do I get a ramp like in part 2, or do I have to flip over the railing?
No, you have to flip over the railing. We're going original with this. The ramp is too easy. We can't have you cheat like they did in Halloween 2 and Friday the 13th Part 2. That can't happen.
You know, nobody really ever... Yeah, then you shoot me 7 times instead, like
Exactly.
Halloween 2.
No, we can't do that.
Nobody ever really mentioned that how hilarious it must have really looked for Michael to get shot off the balcony and like you know how like Hogan and Ric Flair, like when you throw him against the rope and maybe the other guy pulls it down a little bit and then they go flipping over the rope in wrestling. Like that's what Michael really did.
Right.
Like he did like a cartwheel or whatever, somersault off of the balcony, which probably looked hilarious and God only knows how he landed. But everyone acts like he just walked back and fell flat on his back all cool and shit, you know? But there's no way that's what happened. And the other thing I'd like to point out is why is it in the movie where they mention to you that he was shot 6 times, like 47 times, why is that the one where he wasn't shot 6 times, but he was in the first one? That's just the strangest thing to me.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me either. And that, you know, you mentioned Hulk Hogan again, and I know I'm jumping all over the place, but you posted a picture of yourself with a Hulk Hogan mask on, I think it was.
Yeah.
This is how retarded I was when I saw that picture. I thought that was your real fucking face. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, great going outside without a mask, asshole. And then I look and I'm like, I see it, I'm like, Hulk Hogan. I'm like, really? Well, I want to see what's under the mask. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, it gets even uglier.
No, I agree, because I don't wear a mask either. But then again, like I said, I haven't been out of my house since February, aside from, you know, just going outside of the house. Like I haven't been in a public place or anything.
Right. You know, and I've been social distancing since high school, so.
Well, I mean, you know, that's me too. Aside from, well, no, I can't say that. I did have. I think I told you off air that I was talking to this one chick. I guess she was like 46. And she came over to the house, maybe... Really? Yeah, when my mom was in rehab, she came over...
Oh, my God.
I think the end of May or the beginning of June, something like that. She came over on a Saturday. I got Outback on Uber Eats.
Okay.
That was like almost $100 dinner right there, because she got steak.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, of course she did. She's like, well, this asshole's paying for it, so hey, she starts going all the way to the bottom of the menu where the expensive shit that none of us look at is.
Right, exactly, because I just got a fucking hamburger, so.
Yeah, you're like, hey, sweetie, take a hint, I'm getting an $11 hamburger. That's me trying to politely tell you to stay in that ballpark.
Actually, I think it was $8.99, but $8.11, close enough. So, and it was good for $8.99, I'll give you that.
How the hell did that entire meal become $100? Did she get 2 steaks?
No, she wanted an appetizer, too. And you get an appetizer, that just, you know, all that shit just adds up, you know what I mean?
Did she get a dessert, too?
No, I thought she was going to have me for dessert, but that didn't happen.
That didn't happen?
No.
She was willing to let you pay for a steak and an appetizer and didn't do anything?
See, we were talking, I guess, for maybe... I want to say 3 or 4 weeks prior to that. Nah, wait, actually, no. We were talking since March, like on the phone. But see, she's the type where every time we would talk, like she would want to talk for like 2 or 3 hours on the phone. Ugh. And she would mainly want to talk just about herself. That's all she would talk about. So there would be nights where I would literally fall asleep on the phone talking to her because she would just talk to me about like her bullshit. And
you ever do the Last Action Hero thing where you just play a tape like Arnold did to his ex-wife and it was like, yes, dear, you're right, dear.
I should have done that, but what I did was I just sat there and I basically put the phone on mute and I was just like,
wow.
You know,
so she doesn't even look for a response
for some of the stuff. No. And then every once in a while I would just, you know, turn mute off and I would just be like, oh, okay, yeah, great. And then hit it again. Oh, okay, yeah, great. And then hit it again.
So you never did this again after this got you nothing, right?
Well, no, we continued to talk. Because what happened was after dinner, I decided to, she wanted to watch a movie. So I had the 4K player. I moved into the in-law suite in the living room. So we were going to watch The Invisible Man, 4K. So she didn't want me to get up off the couch. She figured she would take the disc and put the disc in the player. So she does this. And believe me, I was cringing because you should realize that women do not know how to handle Blu-rays, 4Ks, anything like that.
Would she put it upside down?
No, she literally took the disc. She put her finger on the center hole and then basically lifted up the disc and put her fucking thumb underneath the disc. Literally on the disc and pried it out of the case.
What?
And then, yes, pried it out of the case. So then she's holding the disc like a fucking frisbee, and that made me think of the frisbee that you threw. But that's how
she could have thrown it to the dog.
Yeah, she's holding the disc. She fucking opens up, the tray of the player and puts the disc in, closes the player, and...
Wait, don't tell me. The disc wasn't even securely in, so when it closed, it was like half up and half down, and it crunched and then opened again.
No, it was in, but the player could not read the disc. So, dude, we're sitting there for like 15 or 20 minutes, and it wasn't playing. Nothing was fucking happening. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. So she's like, you know what? Let's just watch something on Shudder. So I said, okay, fine.
The guy with 4,000 DVDs and Blu-rays, you finally have a date night, and you can't even put one of these things in. Instead, you're going to stream.
Yeah, because I didn't want to do it. Because after I saw what she did to The Invisible Man, and that's a fucking 4K UHD disc. I don't know what she did to it.
Hey, when she was there, did she wear a mask?
No.
Oh, good.
No. Well, because so we're sitting together on the couch. We decided to watch Darling. So we're sitting there, and she had to stop watching, because I guess Darling it's like an hour and 16 minutes. So within that hour and 16 minutes, we had to pause the movie 5 different times because she had to go out. She had to go out for smoke breaks. So.
Oh my god.
So then, she came in after the movie was over, and the movie ended, and she's like, I think I better go. And it was maybe 10 minutes to 9 at that point.
So, yeah, it's getting late.
Yeah, so, she is 46, I guess. So I guess to them that's old. Not old, but that's late, So she's
that's old.
So
to you, that's old.
Well, based on what I normally like, yes, that is old. So then we talked, after that, no hug, no kiss, whatever. She just left. Yeah, no hug, no kiss, no nothing. She just left. I walked her outside. She walked to her car. I went back inside. And she just left. So nothing happened. We talked for maybe, a few more weeks after that. And I finally said to her, she's like, I'm alone here. I have nothing going on. I'm alone. There's nothing. She's like, nobody cares about me. I have nobody that cares about me. I'm like, well, I care. And she's like...
Don't tell me she said, yeah, but you don't count.
She's like, honestly? She's like, no, you don't. I'm like, well, what do you mean?
When you sat there and listened to all these stories and fell asleep how many times listening to her talk, and then she says, no, you don't care.
She says, no, I don't care. And I'm like, okay. She says, well, honestly, Mike, I'm not trying to be mean to you, but you're not emotionally ready for a relationship. She's like, because you're taking care of your mother, and you say that you're around her all the time. And I said, well, honestly, I could make time for you. I said, but you're not showing me that you're interested at all. I said, so obviously I'm going to back off because you're not, anytime you want to talk, I have to call you. You don't call me. You just will text me or whatever. And she's like, well, really, I'm alone. And if something happens to me or I get sick, I'm fucked. And I have no one. She's like, because you're just around your mother, and you know,
she's talking to you like you're Norman Bates or something.
right?
Did you tell her that she could barely walk and she had a stroke?
I told her that. She knew that. She knew that because the majority of the time that we would talk, I wouldn't even bring up shit about me. I mean, you know, I brought shit up, you know, but I didn't harp on shit like she did. I mean, holy shit.
Did you tell her about Sleep Camp on Nightmare 6?
No, we didn't get to any of that, dude, because like I said, you could tell that she just wanted to vent to somebody. So she was just venting to me like the entire time.
All right, so just tell me you got out of this then. This is over, right?
Well, the thing is, I just stopped talking to her at that point because I'm like, you know what? If it's to the point where you think that I don't care, and then she said that she needs someone who's financially stable.
Ooh, well, yeah, that's when you hang up. And you go, well, counts me out.
She's like, well, I'm broke. I need someone who's financially stable.
Did you show her your mount and a Blu-rays and say, hey, listen, if this doesn't show financial stability, I don't know what does?
Look, here's the thing. She's going to realize she gets into a relationship with me. I'll be dead by the time I'm 50 or before. And there's a lot of exclusive out-of-print Blu-rays in there that are probably worth a shit ton of money.
Hey, I think you should, write a will at this point in your life, because you're 40, right?
Yeah, actually going to be 41. Well, we'll both be 41 coming up soon.
I know, man. God, September 6th.
September 6th for you, and September 26th for me.
Horrible.
No.
And, now I'm going to be in my 40s. How creepy is that?
I know. You can't even look at the high school ones anymore because you're fucking... Ugh.
No, I can't. I really haven't for 10 years. No, I'm just kidding. No, I do. I really should stop at least with 20-year-olds. That's where I should really draw the line.
Yeah, I think, you know. Hey, I got to tell you something. Did you ever hear of a site they have now? It's called OnlyFans.
Yeah. I'm not completely sure what goes on, though.
Well, see, I wasn't either. But I guess, what the hell is it? On Snapchat, one of these spam girls, I guess, followed me, a while ago. And I don't go on Snapchat much at all. Whatever. But this spam chick just followed me, and she's like, well, swipe up for my OnlyFans. So I swiped up, and I looked, and it's basically what you do is you pay a certain amount of money per month, and they have pictures and videos and shit that you can watch that they do.
Pictures and videos.
So
are these real pornos or just them playing with themselves?
It could be a mix of both, but they're basically just amateur chicks. Like this one that I followed one for I think my monthly thing expires September 10th. My month expires. You
got to give me your login. I got to just peruse this thing.
Yeah, because honestly, I don't think I'm going to renew. She is, it's a hot, Spanish, chick. I think she's...
Okay, you got to give me your login. Can you just give it to me now? Can we forget this whole show thing?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you because I don't even remember it because I signed myself in automatically, but I'm pretty sure I can. I'll get it to you. And
I'm on my phone. I'm on it. You can't do anything unless you log in.
Yeah, you really can't.
You can't even look at a preview.
Actually, I think I'm signed in as RIR Radio. Oh yeah, you have to, dude. You have to go. You know how you sign in through Gmail?
Yeah.
Dude, sign in through Gmail.
Yeah.
And then sign in as Rabbit and Red Radio, and then you'll get there. I'll give you the password. No,
is it the same password as all your other passwords?
Yeah.
Starting with a P?
Thing. Yep. That's it.
Jesus.
Yeah, but you have to do sign in through Gmail and sign in that way.
Oh, okay.
But you have to log in through Gmail, actually.
Well, I won't do it now because I don't want to distract. I have the responsibility of coming up with this brilliant stuff to entertain people, so I will not be distracted by hot Spanish girls.
Well, you have it. Like I said, I'm seeing another reason that I'm not going to re-up for another month, because you can sign up, and then I was going to keep it going, but I'm like, you know what?
Well, here, can you keep it going but go to somebody else?
Well, no, because everybody has their
own thing.
Have different prices, and there are people that you can follow for free. So I may follow somebody else for free. Maybe I'll follow somebody else. Yeah, maybe I'll follow somebody else, like if they're decent enough. But this one decided to raise your rate from like 20 to 25. I'm like, meh.
A month?
Yeah.
You could like join a real porn site for that much.
Right, and the thing is,
or less.
Right, and what is it? The thing is that she has like, I guess you could, if you do these things, like they have a thing where like for different videos that they post, you can do like a thing they call tipping.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Like they're like, well, if you tip me, like they'll post like maybe half of like some of their videos, like they'll post half, and they're like, tip me 20 or tip me 30 for the full video on your messages.
This is not even as good as Cam Girls, because at least with them you could be interactive and immediately tell them what to do and all this kind of stuff, and they could say things you want them to say. This is just barbaric.
Well, I mean, like, you can video chat with these, but they'll charge you like, I think she charges like 40
cents a minute.
No, she charges like $40 for, I think, up to 2 hours or something like that.
Oh, Jesus. Who'd want to talk to her for 2 hours?
The fact of the matter is, I would only
It's like the girl you were talking to.
Yeah.
You fall asleep.
Well, yeah, considering I would only need it for about,
6 minutes.
2.
Yeah, like even if it was Luna Star, I'd be like, all right, honey. It's been about 23 minutes, and my penis is bored. It fell asleep.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's like everything's out. It's super sensitive. I can't do anything with it now, so just shut the fuck up. Thank you.
Now, we were supposed to get into something now.
Yes, we were.
You made well, we have a couple things. My podcasting career is on the line. We have the Evil Dead remake.
Yes. Well, your podcasting career, it's I mean, really at this point, all you're doing at this point is this, I think.
That's correct. Well, I am also on something called Hard to Kill podcast, where we do video commentaries on action movies.
Still doing that one, okay.
If you call still doing it, not having done it for 3 months, then yeah.
Okay. So,
then I'm still doing it.
Well, are you going to continue to do that in some way, shape, or form?
Supposedly. So then technically you'll have 2 podcasts still going at this point. Right. I'm in semi-retirement, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah, I retired from, I'm no longer a showrunner. I will no longer produce anything like that. But if you really are hard up and you need someone like me on your show, I'm willing to do that. But only for friends and people I like talking to.
So you will do guest appearances?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to maybe schedule you for a few lounge segments on Rabbit and Red then.
Yeah, I cannot make it a regular thing in my life anymore. It cannot be a real part of my life. Nothing like that. This new sense of freedom I have, like I told you, it's a new lease on life. If you only knew what it was like being a showrunner for the Skeleton Crew and the Married with Children podcast, you wouldn't. If you had if there was a camera, fly on the wall camera on me, and saw every situation I had to be a part of.
Oh, I know some of it, I'm sure.
And everything that it took to do this and keep things afloat and all that kind of stuff, and just life being involved with it, and all the production, thousands at this point of hours of producing just to make things come off seamlessly and high quality and high production value. And it boggles the mind that I did it this long. And now, so what happened is, I retired and we were done with the 7th season of Married with Children. Me, Dan, and Jamie were completely finished. And at that point, the band broke up and, it was done, and I was just going to leave it at that. But we have a couple passionate listeners. And they all band together, like 8 of them, and they said, we want to keep your vision alive. We loved what you guys were doing. And we cannot let it die. And, we learned so much from just listening to you and observing your production and all this other stuff. And I think we could keep this going and keep your thing alive. And like, I'm telling you, they're going all out to keep this going. I've heard a couple examples, and they're really pretty amazing how they're really good students of whatever we were doing. Like, I didn't think I was doing anything technically, any style or anything, but apparently I was. So, these guys, they split up into 3 groups, and they're all going to review, like, let's just say 8 episodes out of 22 a season, or whatever it adds up to. So they all get, the same amount amongst 3 different groups. So it's not overwhelming to anybody. And then they don't have to produce all 22 episodes. They only have to produce 8 of them or whatever,
And instead, that keeps it fresh for, other people, because it's a constant cycle of, different people. It's not the same 3 every time. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, I don't think I was doing anything groundbreaking. I was just being an asshole and trying to be funny, and that's my that's my philosophy of podcasting. Just do that and just try to come off as something entertaining and engaging in some way. So other than that, I don't know anything. This kicks off September 5th. We've been done since our last. I think the last thing we ever put out. We split up on June 5th, technically. So I think the last thing we ever put out was like May, maybe.
Wow.
Or maybe I released some. I don't think I did anything after that day. And we ended up recording the first episode of season 8. Dan didn't show up. It was me and Jamie and Annabelle, this girl who like runs these big Marrow Children websites. It was a big deal to have her come on as a guest. And we did it. We recorded it, not knowing we were going to be done, in 2-3 days, whatever it was. And so then they said, listen, we know you recorded that one episode, and this girl Annabelle's going to be a part of this team, of the trio of groups. And they said, can you produce that one last one? We know you don't want to do anything else, but can you please produce that one last one, release it, and maybe do a different intro to tell everybody that this is the last one, and then an exit explaining to everybody what's to come, for all the people who are not on this group page for Facebook. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll have one last show go out with me as the host, in that way, with the original team, sort of. And that's it. I'm done, man. And I am passing the torch to these guys and saying, enjoy.
So is the show done, or have you produced it already? Is it done?
Halfway done. And it came out pretty good.
Did you cry during production?
No. But I did sit there and I said, I cannot believe I did this every week.
Now, how are they releasing their episodes? Are they doing it weekly, or are they doing bi-weekly, or how are they going to do it?
Identical. Identical to what I did every week.
With Horrorphilia taking a dive in February, are they going to release via Horrorphilia, or are they going to go Podbean or another outlet or Legion or something like that? What are they doing?
For now, Horrorphilia, and we're going to try to get Podbean going at the same time. I already registered. I got everything done. I just got to find a way to make it so it goes to everything, like iTunes and
Podbean
Spotify.
Does that. If you have it, Podbean pretty much does it automatically as long as you have that RSS feed.
Well, I don't know what RSS feed means.
That is the feed that basically sends it to iTunes, Spotify, and all that stuff.
How do you get that?
You basically get it. You can get it right in your settings of your Podbean.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some FaceTiming there, and you gotta help me with that.
I can do it for you because I set up the Rabbit and Red network thing. I mean, we're on Legion, but that's like just my backup for shit. So, yeah.
Okay, great, thanks. So that's it. I'm done, man. I'm in the clear, and I'm just having a good time now, just doing some little stuff along the way. But I'm officially retired as a showrunner for good.
But you feel that this new crew of Married with Childrenites, I don't know what we call them, so to speak, but you feel
no mammers, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
No mammers. You feel that they have the,
The chops?
Yes.
I don't think anybody could ever be someone else. And when they asked me for the advice, they played them all or gave them to me, and I listened, and they said, so give us all the criticism, whatever you have to say. Well, let's just put it this way. You can't tell somebody that, well, you should try to be funnier, or you should try to add more humor, and don't make it so educational.
Right.
Like, people aren't necessarily putting on a podcast because they really want to know about this. Like, no one's watching Married with Children and saying, gee, Al said something about Plato is taking young kids camping or something. I don't know. Making fun of, like, and they really want to know, was Plato like some like child molester or something? Like nobody really cares. Like, they don't really want to know. They don't want to know every reference. Every time they make fun of somebody, they don't really want to know the bio of that person that they made fun of. Things like that.
Right. Right.
You should pepper it into your show. You could say, Marcy fantasized about George Foreman. Like who ever fantasized about him? And what I did say that one time, and then Jamie said, well, somebody must have. He has like 8 kids. So it actually worked out. Yeah. So, you to say those snarky comments, you actually create your own, you re-entertain people with what's already there. And that is sort of my philosophy. Like, I want to take all the material that I'm reviewing, take it and re-entertain you with it in a fresh, new way that you might have not looked at it before, and question certain things. And if it's definitely worth hearing about the person they're talking about, then we could do that and say, wow, can you believe that, one time Al was looking for a Playmate of the Year, and it was Brandy Brandt. So then we found out she was like arrested. She was drug smuggling in Colombia and shit, like weird shit going on, So like, that's interesting. And people are like, wow, I watched that episode my whole life. I had no idea. That's weird, man. Things like that.
So that actually happened to her in real life?
Yeah.
Oh, so you brought real... Now, see, that is intriguing. I enjoy that. I didn't realize that. But wow.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't just do that. You can't treat it like people are going there to be educated.
Right.
You have to have the mindset that people are tuning in to be entertained, regardless of how you do it or what you think you're doing. They're not putting it on because they want to do that instead of going to Wikipedia or something.
So how much of the new Married with Children podcast have they recorded so far?
I think they recorded a lot. So from what I know, I think they only have like 5 episodes left of season 8 already, and we haven't even released one yet.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really ahead of time.
Yeah. And you are set to come on 2 episodes per season, so you're on 2 episodes of season 8. I'm
recording a show tomorrow, actually.
Ah.
Yep.
Wow. So you are, this should be something very intriguing. I'll have to keep my eyes open for that, because I will at least listen to your episodes. I may give the other ones a chance based on...
curiosity, yeah. Hell.
See how they do.
Let's see how people do. I'm dying to see this. I can't wait. And I'm not hoping for them to fail. Just like you guys know better than anybody, you had Rabbit and Red. Like, Vince was like, the head guy. And you were the combo, the Jordan and Pippen of the thing. And then for some reason you added Rodman, which is me. And then I screwed everything up like he does. Then it was just you guys again and went back to the basics. And then from there, I don't know, one of you guys lost interest or you had a fight. I don't even remember. But then
it was a falling out, and I basically flipped at him on air. And then after that,
oh right, yeah, I remember that.
It's a shame because I really want that. I really want that audio. I really do, and I think it's lost forever, unfortunately.
I wonder if I have it. But you guys started getting other people like Rich Stiles and John Rhodes, and look how that turned out. So it's like I'm basically doing the same thing. I just don't care to restart all this stuff again and start over and recast and all this other stuff. I'm just too old and...
You're not old yet, sir.
Well, I've been doing it for too long.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know.
And I don't want to run into the same situation again. I just think I'm better off not doing this.
I mean, I mean, in a sense, you do get to relax, kind of, in a sense. Like, you do, it seems like now you have a lot more time to do things that you actually want to do in life.
Yeah. Yeah, like right now I'm having a Saved by the Bell marathon. When would I ever be able to do that?
So you're watching the series again?
I started from the first episode of high school, and I'm at, like, I have 4 more left for the senior year. Then I move on to the college years, and then I move on to when Zach married Kelly in Las Vegas.
So you're preparing for the Peacock reboot, I take it.
You know, it's weird. I've gone through, like, weird things this year. I watched every episode of a couple things this year. And I just said, I'm just going to start doing it. I'm done saying I'm always going to, and I never get around to it. So I watched every Ninja Turtle episode from the cartoon when I was a kid. I watched all 10 seasons of that. And that was the winter. And then in spring, I watched every single episode of, Batman with Adam West.
Okay, nice.
And then I said every single episode of Saved by the Bell. And then I'm toying with, after that, I'm going to do every single episode of Bates Motel, I think.
Yes, that is. You know what show I just started watching? Because I've been hearing people talk about it for years and years and years, and I figured, because I have that, the Peacock app now. So on Peacock, there's, they have the 7 seasons of Ray Donovan, with Liev Scribner, however the fuck you say it.
Oh, Lee Shriver. Or Shrivner. I don't know. The guy from Scream, right?
Yes, he's not Jewish. I thought he was, but he's like Russian or something. I think his mother was Jewish, so he's only part Jew. And John Voight is in it as well. Let me tell you something. That show has got me.
What's it called?
It's Ray Donovan. He plays a fixer for different Hollywood elite and stuff like that. And John Voight is his father. And really, he's a great character in the show as well. Don't worry, you'll be getting the Peacock app in a few weeks.
Oh,
so
thank you.
You'll be able to watch that.
Saved by the Bell.
As
yeah,
well
I
as
was...
Saved by the Bell and Punky Brewster.
Yeah, I heard that too. She's coming back, that Moonfryer chick.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'll tell you.
I'll come on your back. No,
I mean,
Saved by the Bell was my favorite show when I was 12 and 13 and maybe 14. And man, reliving it at my age now, I swear it makes me feel like a kid again. And I'll always be a kid at heart. I don't think that's ever going to change. Even at 40, like, you know, to have these, like, things around my house for horror and all this other crap. I mean, what kind of adult really does that? And it's like one of those things where I get to be a hybrid because I have a really perfectly normal life outside that no one knows anything about me. Like, I can exist on both planes, if that makes any sense.
Right. No, you kind of keep this stuff like this
contained.
It's contained within itself, so to speak, and then like you have 2 different. So you have like the perfect balance of this and an outside life that is somewhat normal. That
I have a real career. I got married like a normal wedding. I have a house. I like a nice stuff, like a regular normal life that nobody would suspect anything's wrong with me. And then if they walk in the house and they go in certain rooms, it's like, whoa. So I get to exist on both planes. So I think that is what gave me like a good perspective for podcasting. Because I think if you're like way too deep into anything, then you lost perspective.
Right.
So being a hybrid and having the dichotomy of both like existences, I think that's what people may have tapped into. Like, oh, look, he's into this stuff, but he's not a total loser. You know what I mean? I mean, I am a total loser in some ways.
Yeah, so basically, because I know that you have like a horror room, that you have like Friday the 13th stuff and all around. Basically, there's only certain people that get to see that. Basically, anybody else is shut off from that, so to speak.
Right. No one's ever entered that room in 5 years, except for I'd say 10 people maybe, out of like the 50 or so that have been here.
So you basically, okay, so then yeah, you kind of keep that like withheld or secret from
right.
the majority of your quote unquote normal life friends is what okay. And so none of the normal life friends have seen that, and they don't know of your podcasting history and all that stuff.
No, I don't really talk about podcasting to anybody. Most people don't even know I do that.
Wow. So yeah, but you don't post about that really on Facebook, on your normal like Facebook profile.
Never. Nope.
Yeah, but you have friends from your podcasting people. I mean, like Jerry
Vitetta.
Yes. I'm never gonna get that name right.
We got it wrong the first time we ever said it on Skeleton Crew when we were reading his email.
Yes, that's what I remember, and I kind of have kept that alive, so to speak. And I bring that up because he, I think, agrees with me with the Evil Dead remake. I don't think he's a huge fan of it.
He said the opposite. He said he likes it more than the original. Really?
God damn it, I didn't pick that up. Jerry, what is your problem? You need to get smart.
I always wondered what John Rhodes thought of it, because I know he was waiting.
Yeah, motherfucker loves it.
Oh, good.
Motherfucker loves it. And the thing is, I think, and he disagrees, but I think he loves it just based on the whole Bruce Campbell for like 30 seconds at the end of the credits.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I think that too, but no, he actually thought it was a decent film. And the thing is here, why I enjoyed it, or no, I don't enjoy it. I hated it. Because before the movie was released, on Morbidly Made, we were doing a like an Evil Dead retrospective, and we were covering all of them.
Yeah, I remember that. Right when we did on Skeleton Crew, because you were building into the new one too, right?
Right, and I ended up I think Ted Raimi was on, Danny Hicks was on, and
Fede was on too, right?
Yeah, and and honestly, I was going to get the ladies of the Evil Dead, from the original. I was going to get them, and here's a little juicy tidbit for people. Okay. They did not come on the show because they requested to be paid to come on the show. I believe they wanted $200 for an interview
each.
No, I think that was for the three of them. I think they wanted $200. It was either $150 or $200 for the three of them to come onto the show. And I said, I don't pay people to come on to the show. So
yeah, usually you could come on and then you could promote what conventions you're going to be at and stuff. Like, I'm not paying you for that. Well, yeah, the same thing happened to me. When I met King Kong Bundy, I met him like months before he died, and I guess he was right about what he said to me. So I go, hey, listen, I do a Married with Children podcast, and he had pictures, in front of him for Married with Children. That's the one I had him sign too.
Right.
Which was dumb. I'm more of a fan of his wrestling than I was the one episode or two episodes he was in Married with Children. But I did it anyway, just because I was in that mode and the podcast was fresh and I was way into it, So I go, so listen, I'd really like to interview you about your thing on Married with Children, and I'm a big fan of your wrestling too. So I think it would be really great. And he goes, yeah, sure, I'll do it. He goes, but I forgot how he said it, but basically he told me to pay him. And I go, oh, well, how much would you be looking for? And he was like, about $400.
What?
And I go, oh, wow,
15-minute interview, if that. He was, oh my God.
And then he goes, I go, oh, normally we don't really pay anybody. They just kind of come on and they just want to be there. And he's like, hey, listen, man, at this point in my life, I don't know if I'm going to see tomorrow. So, and I was like, oh, yeah, well, I'll get back to you. Do you have like a Twitter or something? And he goes, yeah, whatever. So then he ends up dying in 4 months or something. So I guess I could have had the last King Kong Bundy interview in history.
Yeah, it's still not worth $400 though. I'm sorry, but it's just
right.
It's just not. I mean, and that's the thing. If you're gonna go and you're gonna, with conventions or whatever, and you want to charge for a signature or an autograph, that's fine. Whatever you want to do, or a picture, whatever. Even though I think it's stupid that people charge for pictures, they do. Whatever.
I know, that's really bad.
How it is. Yeah, that is pretty bad. But if you're going to do an interview on the phone where you don't have to even be there in person with the people, and literally you can do it, from the bathroom. You could do it while you're taking a shit in most cases. I don't see what the problem is with giving somebody 5 or 10 minutes of your time.
Well, yeah, you're right. The only time that would be an issue is if, what am I going to do? Just do an interview with everybody who likes me? But it's like, yeah, but most people probably don't ask you that.
I highly doubt they do. I highly doubt it.
How many people ask these guys to do an interview? What format would they be doing an interview with you for? No, not many people podcast, and not many people have any legit radio talk show thing going on. There's not many times that would ever come up. So to think that you would charge to eliminate some of, to filter out people is a little extreme. Felissa Rose has been interviewed so many times. Most podcasts in my circle eventually posted a Felissa Rose interview. And I can imagine on her, and also Adrienne King. And I can imagine what they're thinking, sure, guys. Yeah. Oh, come on. Yeah, definitely. Because they don't want to be jerks or whatever. And then they get asked the same question. So when you read the script and your cock was hanging out, what were you thinking? What did your mom say? And there's not many more things you can ask than things like that. I mean, unless you really want to know about them. But a lot of times that doesn't pertain to anything that's interesting. So you kind of stick with the movie a lot. And, at this point, I don't know when they should start saying no, or will you have to pay me? After the 50th interview, or do you just keep going?
Well, let's put it this way. There is a podcast that is, I think, doing another Friday the 13th thing, and they have asked me to, kind of be a booker for them and book guests for their, because obviously between Rabbit and Red and the Skeleton Crew, I still have all those contacts and stuff. So I agreed, and I reached out to Adrienne King, and she will be appearing on this show. And I believe Adrienne King will, and there's a few other people that I'm working on still, but it's, obviously they're still saying yes. And I mean, with Felissa Rose, I'm kind of in good. Mike Perez, I think, is her manager for personal appearances, and I'm kind of still in, good with him. So I believe I could still get him. I mean, still get her whenever I want. Basically, if I just shoot him an email, I'm sure that she'll.
Right.
But we had her on. Did we have her on?
On Scout. She was on everything.
Yeah.
Everything we did. She was. I think she was on the Marrow Children podcast.
I mean, I know when I was first intending to get her for Rabbit and Red. Actually, no. I don't think she was ever on Rabbit and Red, because I think...
No, she was.
Was she?
Yeah, that's when Vince... he got something out of her that she said she never talked about, ever. And then I brought it up when she was on Skeleton Crew, and then she said, wow, how do you know that? And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, I've never spoken to that to anyone except for one show.
Right.
And I was like, I think I was on that show.
Dude,
she's like,
no.
oh, you were there too?
That's because that's when, right, because I was talking to her through, like, her Twitter, back and forth, and I don't recommend anybody contact any celebrities through social media because it does not work. They basically do blow you off. Because
yeah,
I
they do.
did get the blow off from Felissa, and then when I became friends with the guy,
Booker, yeah.
Mike, who's for personal appearances, that's when, we got
That's when
some.
shit happens. Yep.
Yes, it's all who you know, people. Social media does not work.
It doesn't, because these guys are trying to get the guy who created Married with Children to be on the show, and they want me to interview him. They said, just come back for that one show. You deserve it, blah, blah. It's still your show. So the guy, Michael Moy, Ron Levitt's dead, so you can't get him.
Yeah.
So Michael Moy.
He did Good Times, too. Yes.
Yeah? Wow.
Good Times.
So they were talking to his wife. She said, I never heard of this. Can you send me a couple examples and blah, blah. So they did that, and then they don't want to seem pushy, but she hasn't responded fast enough, and nobody knows what to do. And we're like, well, let's not be annoying. So,
Dude,
yeah,
you
it
gotta
kind of...
wait sometimes, dude, you have to wait. Fucking some people leave you, trust me, they will leave you hanging for months.
2 months,
for
3 months.
years.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It happens. Dude, if you want, I'll see what I can do to maybe help out if they
Get that
really want to
moving
get
again? Yeah.
Because I can try, because I know you're talking to the wife.
Right.
But let me do my IMDb Pro shit, and I'll see if I can, like, get a management or some other contact, and maybe we can, like, get this thing moving quickly. If you want me to try that, I will.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, so back to Evil Dead. So I also want to know about John Rhodes. What does he think of that show?
You mean Ash vs. Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Loves that as well.
He loves it. Okay, because
That as well.
I'm sure he doesn't listen to the show, but
I don't know if he does or not.
so I guess I don't have to worry about offending anybody. I love Bruce Campbell in like part 1 he's boring, but in part 2 and 3, I think he's great. I love the whole shtick. I think he looks the part. He's aesthetically pleasing. He makes the right faces. Blood looks good on his face. Everything looks right. It just fits for what those two movies are. So I was very excited for this TV show. And I think, what is there, 3 seasons?
Yes. There was 3 seasons, yes.
So I have all 3 on Blu-ray. And I don't know if I opened up the second 2 seasons yet. And I think it's been over for like 4 years, all right? So I don't know what that means. Because the first episode was amazing. And I was like, wow. And of course, I was directed by Sam Raimi. I guess you could tell things like that. Because it just popped a different way. It was just really good. And I was like, wow, this is going to be great. This is like never-ending Evil Dead. And everyone's on board and whatever. So then all of a sudden, like, these 2 characters, that Jewish chick and like the Spanish dude.
She's got to give great blowjobs, but continue.
Well, I don't know. I mean, hopefully the guy has like a 9-inch dick, because I don't think a girl with a 6-inch nose could suck a 3-inch dick. No, but no, her nose is kind of big.
Yes.
I don't know what's wrong here, but it was a chore to keep watching. It wasn't you agree. Okay.
Thank you. And let me explain to you why. I'm sorry I'm cutting you off, but let me just explain to you why this is. Because I, like you, I bought season 1, okay. But I watched it because I had, I have all the premiums. So I watched, when the first episode was on, I watched it. Second, and I continued to watch it for like 3 episodes. Then life happened, and I just forgot about it.
Right.
So then the season came out, and they kept being on the TV, and I never watched past like the 3 episodes. I'm like, okay. Eventually one of these days I'll get to it. So then John's like, You gotta watch the show. Fucking great show. Bruce Campbell. Fucking yes. Great show. Fuck yeah. Rah, 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 rah. So I'm like, you know what? I'll watch the show.
Right.
So I guess everybody was on vacation, not last summer, but the summer before, because we were still in the old house. It was before we moved. So I broke out the first season, and I watched it. I went through the however many episodes it is. I think it's only like 7 episodes or something. I don't know. I watched it, and I thought that it was good, but still nothing has really compelled me or like struck me to say, okay, let me break out season 2 and 3 and watch those as well. I've only at this point only seen the first season of the show.
Right. And I think I'm still there, and I don't know what it is. Like when I did these marathons this year with these 3 shows, as dumb as it is, I'm watching a 1987 cartoon of Ninja Turtles, but that's what I grew up with, and that's what I was obsessed with. I don't know. Maybe this year I just felt like recapturing my childhood or something. I don't know. But like...
It's like with real Ghostbusters, dude. I have the whole series of that basically on DVD, and I went through that before. Right. Not the whole thing, but a great majority of it, and I love that fucking show still to this day.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'll always be a kid at heart, so those things will always appeal to me, even though I really shouldn't anymore. So I still enjoyed it. Just I love Shredder and Krang and Rat King and Metalhead and Foot Soldiers and Bebop and Rocksteady. Like all that stuff's still amazing to me. So those were so easy to watch. When I watched Batman, I was so zoned in, and I could sit through 4 episodes in a row, then I had to go do something else. When I watch Saved by the Bell, every time it's over, I'm like, it's already done? With Evil Dead, I'm like, all right, try to stay off your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
I know.
What's wrong here?
Yeah, and I felt bad. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, the movies are fucking great. Right. Aside from the remake, I love the fucking movies. The first 3 are the great fucking movies. But the show, I'm just like, is it just me, or does it not translate well to a series, or what?
I don't know. Like, what is missing here? Like, is it that I'm not even sure if I followed along either. Like, I'm wondering if I zoned out to the point where I don't really know what they're even trying to do. Like, I'm sure they're trying to get a book or some shit. Like, who knows, but...
I don't... You know what it is? I'm going to tell you, and I hate to say this, because I am all one for, bringing back franchises or whatnot.
Right. Oh, I thought it was amazing. Right.
With Ghostbusters Afterlife, what they're going to do with that, I think, is great. But I think with Evil Dead, I think they should have focused on doing another feature film. I think when you take it to like a series format and you kind of like break it down, I think they're trying to tell a little too much story, and they're trying to stretch it a little too thin. That might be the problem.
Or, see, I don't know, because I feel like I like these elongated versions of stuff. Like, it's, normally you take a TV show and then you make a movie, like I just experienced, Saved by the Bell in Hawaii style. And then I'm going to watch Saved by the Bell Wedding in Las Vegas. And, they did this with The Simpsons. They made a movie out of that. And they you take shows, and the Batman, they made a movie with Adam West Batman after season 1 of the show. So, like, that's a normal thing to do. So to take something that worked well as a movie and then say, well, we can make a whole show on this, as long as we can get the main guy. And if you say it in theory, it's like, man, wouldn't it be great to have a TV show at Camp Crystal Lake and Jason running around and all that? It's like, yeah, it'd be great. And then you say, oh, Halloween, a show where you live in Haddonfield, and it's all 30 days of October. Maybe they cut in half, whatever, 13 episodes. So you do like the last 13 days leading to Halloween, whatever. I don't know.
Yes.
Whatever it is, maybe make all the 13 hours of the same day, Halloween night or day, whatever. Like, you can do whatever you want. So it's like, this all sounds great, but then you get to something like American Horror Story, the slasher one.
Oh,
And that became a chore to sit through. And I didn't finish it. And I was totally invested. I was like, no, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch this. I really am. And I must have made it to like 6 episodes, maybe.
Yes. And no, but the thing is, I finished it.
You did.
Here's the problem with American Horror. Yeah, but here's the problem with American Horror Story, and the ending of it sucked. And the problem with that is that they have one idea, and instead of following that one idea and seeing it through, and maybe making it only a 6 or 7 episode season, they have to extend it to like 10 or 11 episodes, and they like take their one main idea that is so fucking good and so fucking great, and they branch off into these other fucking ideas that it loses itself halfway through.
Oh, yeah.
Are
you referring to like other people becoming bad guys and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. That was and believe me, I don't watch American Horror Story. I only watched the slashers one, the 84.
Me too. I don't watch any of them.
Yeah, because I'm like, you know what? That seems good. I'll give it a shot.
Right.
And it got to like episode 6, and I'm like, okay, why are you veering off into this other direction that makes no fucking sense whatsoever?
Right. Like, you're going to give us twists and plot turn, like, it's like, it's normally cool, but it's like, I don't know, like, something still, and don't tell me, because I really am going to finish this one day.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong, but, like, even the new Scream TV show, like, the first 2 that they did, I think, sucked. Like, I watched the first season of Scream that they ever did, where it was, like, a different mask and everything. And I sat through all of it because I just made myself. I was like, no, this has to be good. This is what they're making this for me. Like,
see, that I didn't mind.
Right.
Like I didn't watch season 3 of Scream, but I watched the first 2 seasons.
Okay.
I didn't mind that.
Well,
I really did.
I don't know what season it is, but I started watching the one where they broke out the real Scream mask, and there was like black people or something.
Yes, that's season 3.
Okay. Yeah. So that I liked. And
I didn't watch that one yet. I want to, though.
Oh, it's better than the other ones, I think.
Oh, is it really? Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to check.
And I think Roger Jackson, or whatever his name is, I think he does the voice again.
That's
I swear
a nice
to God.
payday for him, sure.
Yeah.
I think you're right, because I think I read somewhere that he did come back for that.
Right. So I'm like, wow, well, again, they're making this for me. Like, I'm that target audience. Why do I not watch this stuff? So I forced myself. And I think I did, like, again, 5 or 6 episodes, and then life happened. But why are these things not compelling enough and pulling us in to complete these things? What is wrong here? And I have to watch these Evil Deads. I cannot believe there were 3 seasons of this, and I can't get through 1. And I really like the movie.
Everybody wants a fucking 4th season. And it's like they all, and, Bruce Campbell's like, nah, I'm not doing it, fuck you, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But, but I think in the grand scheme of things, he would do a 4th season. Dude, if they backed up a Brinks truck to his house, he would do a 4th season in a fucking heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that's the story of my life, trying to get into things that are made for me. And I don't know what's wrong, but they're not compelling me. Bates Motel, that I didn't like season 1 very much. But
really?
Season 2, not really. I thought it was all weird with, like, the girl, the Chinese girl in the room or whatever, and she was like a sex slave or whatever the fuck that was. Like, I don't even know what that was all about.
It was different. It was definitely different.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? Yeah, like, this is not what I tuned into Bates Motel for. So I did it anyway, and I slogged through that one, but it was okay. And then season 2 hit, and it was hilarious. The way Norman was acting and the situations that were going down, I found it hysterical. And I wasn't, you're not supposed to. It's not a comedy, but I found season 2 of Bates Motel to be the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I loved every second of it. And from there, I was invested. And I kept going and going and going. And then it ended, and it was great. Great show.
Did you like Rihanna as Marion Crane?
It was only one. I didn't mind. I didn't think she was the perfect casting. I would have preferred plenty of other people. Like, I'm obsessed with Emma Roberts, and that's another thing.
Oh, yes.
Scream Queens, I bought it just because she's on it and she's the main person, and I probably watched 7 episodes again, and I have both seasons here on DVD, if there are 2. I think I have 2 seasons.
It is 2, and I think they're coming back for a 3rd.
Right, I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so why can't I watch that either? And that wasn't so bad. I thought it was actually okay.
Did I watch? No, I didn't watch Scream Queens. I don't think I watched any of it. I thought about it, but I never got into it. And then it got canceled, and I'm like, ugh.
Oh, it's good. Emma Roberts is the greatest bitch in television.
Oh, dude, I mean, really, like, she, and I'm not really like into the white women all that much, but she is someone that just does it for me on some level.
I'm not into white chicks at all, and something about her is captivating.
You would just be very into just railing that, I'm sure, because
I don't really think about sex, really. Like, I would, but I don't know. There's something else about her. Like, I would just want to hang with her and do bad things. Like, to people, I mean.
Well, yeah, I mean, because she does come off as that, like, queen bitch that would just...
Yeah, and if you were in good with her, it would be awesome.
Oh, yeah, because then, you could start doing, like, dirty, nasty stuff to other people, and then she could start doing dirty, nasty stuff to you later on. Yes. I love it. I love it. Now I'm going to have to watch Scream Queens, fucker.
Exactly.
Killing me, man. You're killing me.
Wow, what a show we put out. I mean, we had nothing to talk about, and here we are at the end, and it felt like 7 minutes went by.
That's what it is. I really think when you just get to talking and you have, like, these little things that just come out, I mean, it just spawns a whole fucking thing.
Yeah, next time let's make a whole list of bullet points and stuff like that. We'll do it right next time.
Yeah, and see what happens.
Make it a lot worse than this show.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Holy shit.
Yeah, let's be structured and restrained and everything. That's how I really want to do it.
I mean, we should give it a shot and see what happens. This though, honestly, after this, I almost can't wait for the next one. Holy shit, does this have to end? I guess it does.
Yeah, unfortunately. We have to just give you guys a little bit. That way you keep coming back for more. Yes,
please, come back for more. And, come back for Married with Children, the return of the Married with Children podcast.
Yeah.
They will be weekly, you said, correct?
Yes, yeah, September 5th is a Friday. They want to release it on September 5th because it's the exact anniversary date of when original Season 8 premiered on TV, like something years ago. So they wanted to drop that day as a big celebration. Then from there, we're going to go back to every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. I see.
Right.
I see. Well, that's going to be really great. I will tune in for sure and see. So episode 1 of season 8, that is the last episode with the, in the original format, so to speak.
Right, except for Dan's missing. But other than that, it was as if we were normal, and then he just wasn't on that one.
I see. Well, I will tune in for that one. I'm sure that everyone else will too. And then we will follow in the weeks ahead with the rest of Season 8, and then 9, 10, and 11. Now,
11, yeah.
When 11 is over, do you guys think, that they'll go back, the new crew, will they go back and do the first 7 seasons again?
No, but because they would never want to do that production. But I'm sure they will do overviews. Like, we do season wrap-up shows, so I'm sure they'll do things like that, so they could all give their piece. Like, maybe they'll do 5 episodes at a time or more. Maybe half the season, they'll talk about the first 11 episodes or whatever, or as a big overview, not in such fine detail like we did, just to say things about them.
That could be interesting, like a Cliff Notes.
Oh, my doorbell's ringing. Damn it.
Oh, God.
Hold on. You're not recording anymore, are you? Oh, wait. Someone's at my front door. Who the hell is it? Oh, I'm not answering the door.
Maybe it's a Jehovah's Witness.
They have a thing in their hand. It's a black person with like a clipboard in their hand.
No. It's a Jehovah Witness. They're trying to bring you to Jehovah.
I am not answering this.
Do you have that Ring doorbell deal?
Yeah, and they're looking at me.
You have that. Well, they're not looking at... I don't...
No, they are. She showed me her badge. Could she have heard me talk?
No, you should have it muted, I think, by default. Because we have one on the house, too, and it's muted by default.
Dude, she heard me. She's knocking now.
Just what you do is just say that you can't speak.
And I don't answer the door to people with COVID.
Yes, because she could just open the door and cough, and you could be, and like she could just put COVID into your house.
I think she'll get the hint after 5 minutes.
After 5 minutes? God. Go away.
Like, what are you doing knocking on people's door at this time?
It makes no sense. Stop knocking.
Wait, why are you whispering?
Well, because she could probably hear me. If she can hear me. Unless I'm coming through his headphones.
Right. This is so creepy.
It's right in your ear. It's dinner time. Come to Jehovah after dinner. Eat your fucking dinner. Jehovah wants you to eat.
Dude, she rang my doorbell again.
Is she still out there?
Yes.
Is she hot?
No.
I'll just put a brown bag on her head and then I can pretend that she's hot.
What kind of an idiot keeps ringing a doorbell if the person obviously does not want to come to the front door?
Have cars in your driveway that she can see?
Yes. But I don't care. I don't have to answer the door. You can't tell me what to do.
You don't. You know, dude, here's what you do. See if she can hear you. Like, is there a way you can go into your Ring app right now?
Yeah, well, I turned it off because I don't even want to look at her.
I was going to say, if you went into your Ring app, you can say, yes, ma'am, I'm social distancing. Please tell me what you'd like. If you have a packet or something you want me to look at, please just leave it there and I will retrieve it after you are safely in your vehicle or safely down the street.
I know.
I have a pool in my backyard. Do you have a pool in your backyard? I think you do.
No.
You don't? Oh, I thought you did.
No.
So I was going to say, if you had a pool, you could wait, and then if she did not leave, you could open up the door, bum rush her, put a bag over her head, and then throw her in the pool that's in your backyard.
She's such a creep for ringing it again.
Does she have dreadlocks or no?
Yes.
Oh. You should be like, look, I BLM.
Yeah. Turbulence. Boop, 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 boop. Turbulence.